So welcome back. This is the final lessons of, I believe, our lesson 3. We're going to work with what we call evaluating expressions. So basically we just are going to substitute and simplify. So this is when you start to see math that starts to have a lot more lettering in it. Remember, letters just represent numbers or ideals and things like that. For us, our purposes right now, it looks like letters are just going to represent numbers. So remember, when you have a number next to a letter, that means multiplication. So when I substitute the -1 in, that doesn't mean 4 minus 1. That means 4 times -1. A lot of times when I substitute in, I will use parentheses to show multiplication. Plus then, my y was a 3, so that's going to be, 2 times 3. And so now we just follow order of operations. So remember, we had please, excuse, my, dear, and Sally. So we see multiplication, we see addition. The multiplication is going to have to come before the addition. So 4 times 1 and 1 negative makes that -4. 2 times 3 is 6. And then -4 plus 6. Debt, income. Debt removes from income. There's $2 of income left over. This next problem, probably going to slide over before I start working this one out. Fractions are a little bit weird. So I'm going to go 2, and w is -1, so 2 times -1. Get that? Y again is 3, so put plus 3 there. In the denominator I have an x, which is 6, and z is given to be a -2. Again, these parentheses are just distinguishing that this is an addition symbol and that's a -2, and they're added together. If you don't want those parentheses there, you don't need them. I just do it as just the way I see a lot of times in the books and things. So on the top we see multiplication and addition. So we see a -2 plus 3, which in turn would turn to a 1 on the top. 6 plus -2 would just be a 4. So it looks like we're getting 1/4 as our answer. So a lot of times if I have fractions, that problem seems to flow better going left and right. So here I got to take the opposite of x. Since x is 6, that's going to make that a -6. Plus then z is a -2. Again, if you don't want to put all those parentheses there, you can leave that parenthesis out. Just remember that that's your addition symbol, that's a -2. And then we have to divide that by an 8. Again, we have to do what's inside the parentheses first, so that's going to be a -8 squared, and then I'm going to divide by an 8. Because remember, if you have debt plus more debt, that just makes a bigger debt, so you just add those together and keep the sign. And we know that -8 squared is going to be 64, and divided by 8, that's going to turn out being just 8. So notice how, again, when you do evaluate expressions, it's a good idea to substitute in and just kind of take your time simplifying the problem out. Okay, that concludes. Thank you.